Just going to cover over the general starting procedure of this, even though it says it on the side. I do it a bit differently. This way it'll make sure that this thing is much easier to start. First of all, just like any whip snipper, prime it about 6 times if there is already fuel in the bowl, 10 times if there is not. Come over here, press this down, click in the throttle, and it clicks and it locks partially open. Obviously a little bit of throttle is perfectly fine. Another thing is you want this set to the cold position, because obviously, especially if you are starting a cold engine, that is where you want it. Obviously pull it quite sharply, but before you do that, you want to get to about here. Feels slack, and you hit a hard spot about here. You want to pull it from here. Otherwise, what will end up happening is if you don't take up that slack, you can destroy the pull start, and obviously we don't want to be replacing pull starts, do we? Also, do not drop start it, and then let it idle for about 30 seconds. Once it is started, come over here, just tap throttle, and then it'll release the throttle, so it goes back down to your idle, and the throttle is mostly closed. After that, you want to let this thing sit for about 3 minutes. After about 3 minutes, set it to hot, and then let it sit for another 2 to let it warm up a bit more. Total 5 minutes worth of sitting and warming up. After that, you will be good to go. It shouldn't bog down from there. Another thing about this machine is very important to warm this thing up, otherwise you will literally score the cylinder sidewalls and absolutely destroy your engine. Especially this thing being a 4-stroke, it's even more critical than with a 2-stroke. Even 2-strokes, you must let them warm up. The other thing is, make sure to keep on top of oil changes with these things. Unlike a 2-stroke, how you have fresh oil coming in from your fuel, these things rely on you changing oil, as that is the nature of a 4-stroke. I would personally recommend a 10W40 or a 10W30 full synthetic. Your car oil, as long as it meets those specifications, should be fine. Motorbike oil is also ideal. I would not recommend anything SAE30 or SAE40, as it will not provide the correct properties to protect this engine. The booklet does cover over general stuff like spark plug and such, and all that other good stuff. I also recommend only run a minimum of 95 in this engine, as it is quite a small engine, and you know that is most ideal for longevity. And I think that is pretty much it. As long as you stay on top of the oil and let it warm up, this thing should serve you quite well. Thank you for purchasing this thing. I hope it has a good life.